Well, good morning everybody and welcome back to the show. I'm Doc Carball with Keller Williams Realty. My slogan is, if you want opportunity to knock, you talk to Doc. And I am so excited today because I have a co-host who I hope, if she survives today's taping, that she is going to be ready to stay with me continually. This is Regina Pickle Lewis, but everybody knows her as Regina Pickle, teacher here in Cleveland, and so she's going to work with me on the show. Before we begin and get into what we're doing today, I thought I ought to apologize because if you watched the show last month, you will notice that I probably made you all nauseated within the first 3 minutes because I was doing this and this and this and this. And so I'm going to try to be still today, or at least more calm than I was the last time. Regina's going to be the nervous one.
I'm going to take over on that, Doc.
Exactly. So we've got a great show lined up for you. I'm going to give you the house of the month, and we are also going to be looking at how to go on a very successful diet. Now, everybody says there is no magic bullet to lose weight. So today my goal is to introduce you to 3 bullets, and you can pick the one that you want and decide what diet maybe works best for you. So that's kind of what the show is going to be about today. But before we do that, let's go, Jennifer, to the pictures of the home. Last month I had showed you a house on 2900 Bobo Avenue. As you can see, this one is 3705 Hillsdale Drive, and it's off of Blythe Ferry Road. It's a nice house, got a sunroom on it, nice hardwood floors. It's priced at $169,900. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. It's what we call a tri-level, and it's just a gorgeous house. If you want to live in the heart of Cleveland and be close to everything, this would be a perfect house for you. In fact, I sent this house to Regina because Regina has been looking for homes with me for about 6 months. So, didn't you think those were pretty?
I thought it was very pretty.
That was very pretty.
I think you need to take me out to look at it.
I'll take you out to look at it. So, here's what I always say. When you get free time today, on your way home, on your way to work, please drive by Hilldale and look at this house. And if you got any questions, you can always call me because I'm Doc Carball with Keller Williams Realty, where we say if you want opportunity to knock, yeah, talk to Doc, so give me a call. All right, I always do the quotes. So since we are doing weight loss this month, I thought it'd be fun to talk about crazy diets, of which we probably have all been on, and crazy quotes. So I'm going to give you some quotes about weight loss before we get into our special guest. You ready for this?
I think you picked me especially for this.
I think I did. All right, here's the first quote, and it's anonymous. Okay, those who indulge, bulge. That's pretty good. A diet is the penalty we pay for exceeding the feed limit. I kind of like that one. Food is like sex. When you abstain, even the worst stuff begins to look good. I keep trying to lose weight, but it keeps finding me. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst, for they are sticking to their diets. I'm not overweight. I'm just 9 inches too short. And 2 more. Dieting is wishful shrinking. And my favorite one, I'm in shape because round is a shape, isn't it? You like those?
I love it.
All right. So
I love it.
I don't know about you, but I have always been on a diet. So I want to talk about some of the crazy diets that I've tried, and I want to hear about some you've tried. My favorite one was the poopy pill diet. And I don't think I need to say anything more about that because I feel like that is pretty self-explanatory. So we're going to set that aside right now. I also did one called Fat Loss for Idiots. It was actually quite fun because one day I'd spend the entire day eating chocolate cake. And then the next day I would eat carrots and celery. And then the next day I would eat nothing but cashews. So, you know, you would eat one food group, and the idea was, like in working out, you confuse your muscles. I was to confuse my stomach. And so those days that I got to eat chocolate cake and cashews and all the fun stuff was really great. Carrots and celery were not so much fun. I did not really lose weight on that diet. And then, of course, I've done the cabbage soup diet, and I'm sure you've all heard of that, where you eat cabbage soup like religiously for weeks on end. So there are a lot of different kind of diets out there that people can go on. But what we're hoping to do today is give you the kind of diet that we give you the tools and the information that you can make an informed decision and have the kind of diet where you actually truly will lose some weight. So Regina, confess, what diet have you been on?
Which time?
It doesn't matter, just give me one.
I live on diets.
Okay.
I live on diets, fat-free diets. I like those the best because I can eat sweet tarts and spree and any kind of candy you can eat on fat-free diets.
Well, you would have liked Fat Loss for
Love
Idiots.
it. Love it. I'd love those diets. However, I always gained the weight back. You had to constantly be exercising on those diets because of the carbs. I've been on tuna fish diet, and I have stunk up the whole English office because I have opened cans of tuna, and I had tuna and boiled eggs. So you can imagine how my coworkers loved me on those diets.
Sure.
I've never been on any special diet. The best thing I've been on was when we put money in a jar. And at school, we all put money in a jar. And if you know me, I like money.
Well, yeah.
And I do anything to make money. So I was going to lose the most weight because I wanted that money. Every week we put money in the jar. And at that
motivation.
time, I think that diet was a simply starvation diet.
Okay.
So I won the money. I lost the most weight. I was proud. 3 months later, I was back where I started.
Yeah.
So nothing is really workable.
Yeah, and they say that when you go on a diet and when you lose weight, that the losing weight is great. You all go out and buy your brand new clothes, and then within 3 or 4 months, you have gained back everything that you lost. But the sad thing is, you find out that you actually gain more.
Yeah, how many people clean their closets out, Doc? I've done it.
I have clothes in all sizes. I mean, I can fit anything.
I've thrown mine away. I've gotten into what I want. I've said, I'm throwing them away. They're gone, not to come back. And then I don't have anything to wear. I gained that weight back, and I'm like, I have no clothes.
Yeah. So we want to give you some great information about dieting today. And I mean, I'm sure that everybody out there can talk about some crazy diet that they've been on and some legitimate ones out there. I mean, there are a lot of things out there that you can try. But we're hoping that today we at least are able to give you something that you can listen to the information that's being given and look at that and say, I think that one is one that I can stick with. Because really it's about what can you stick with. Because I know, when you do something that you do the same thing every single day, it can be tough. And we like taste buds that, get to have variety. And so I know I like variety. So that's what we're looking at. So that's going to be the show today. Now, I got to remind you, if you get a chance, you need to drive by the house on 3705 Hilldale Avenue.
I'm going to do it.
She's going to do it.
I'm going.
When you leave today. Because I need to sell that house. It's $169,900. Great price to be living in town. Again, my slogan is, if you want opportunity to knock, you talk to Doc. So I'm with Keller Williams. Please give me a call about that house. So let me tell you about who's coming up today. Just to let you know ahead of time who we're going to have. Our first guest is going to be Cheryl Jaggers. And she works with the HCG shots, and I'm sure that's something that's fairly new to people, and there are a lot of questions out there, and we'll be asking her some of those questions. So she'll be our first guest. Our second guest will be Dr. Kirk Keener, and he works with a product known as Ideal Protein. And with Ideal Protein, he's talking about the balance that we need to have to lose weight between the protein and the carbohydrates that we eat. And then our third guest is a young man by the name of Jeremy Sauls. And Jeremy Sauls works with a company or has a product known as Advocare. And that has been very popular in this area, I would say within probably the last year. And so a lot of people, I have a lot of friends that have been on Advocare, and they have a lot of different products they can give you, and it's not just about weight loss with them, it's also about vitamins and different kinds of things and energy drinks. So we have a lot of different things that we can talk about with each one of these. And I'm hoping that every single diet protocol that we give you today will be different, and that you can see that each one, I chose each one because they are completely different from the other one, because like I said, we're all individuals. What works for me may not work for Regina, or vice versa, but the goal is to make sure that we find that magic bullet, which everybody says is not out there, but like I said, today we think we have found 3 magic bullets for you to choose from.
Most people today, Doc, most people today don't have the time to go home and cook a healthy meal every day. And
that's true.
So anything that they can do to eat on the go that's healthy and can help aid in weight loss is what they're looking for.
Absolutely. I'm what I call a weekend cook, because I'm so busy with real estate during the week that what I do is I go home on the weekend, and on Sunday afternoons I'm cooking things to get through the week, because when I get home after I've showed houses, if it's 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock, number one, I don't want to eat a big meal because I don't want to go to bed with that on me. And number two, I'm just too tired to care. So,
yeah, and something that would be nutritious for breakfast that you can drink or eat on the go.
Right, and we are all about being on the go. I know, we get in our car, we eat our bar or banana or fruit, whatever it is.
Something I can carry to the ballpark.
Exactly.
Have my meal.
Exactly. So we think we've got we know we've got a really good show for you today. So we want you just to stay tuned with us and listen to our three guests and make a decision for yourself on what type of diet that you would like to maybe participate in. But before we go, I got to remind you one more time, drive by Hilldale and look at that house and give me a call saying, Doc, I would like to check out that house. You got anything you want to add?
Yep.
Oh, opportunity to knock. Talk to Doc. All right, Jennifer, if you will flip up the weather as we're getting ready to close out this segment of the show, we'll take a look at that real quickly, and then we will be back with our guests. It is so much nicer looking right now than it was this weekend. Did you get any damage this weekend?
I didn't, but 3 houses down from me, the whole area was gone. Trees, cars, 3 houses.
Yeah, I didn't get any damage either, but like you, it was just right down the road from me. Sad situations going on, but
Charter and Cleveland Utilities worked through the night trying to get our electricity back on. I was pleased.
Great.
Worked hard.
Great. All right, so we've got a great show lined up for you, so you just stay tuned, and we will be back with our first guest, Cheryl Jaggers, who's going to talk to us about HCG and how HCG will be maybe the diet of the future, or maybe the diet of your future.
I'm Wes Robb.
So stay tuned with us. And again, Regina, thanks for being my co-host.
Love it.
And we will be back very shortly.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Hi, I'm Brittany Jackson. Join me every Wednesday night at 6:30 and midnight, where we will highlight local sports, chat with coaches, and discover new tips every week. Only on In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson.
Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open in Cleveland. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an incredible treatment, clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, migraine headaches, even sprains and injuries. It is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level, providing an array of health benefits. So whether you're dealing with a weekend sports injury, chronic condition, or looking for anti-aging, you owe it to yourself to explore what Hyperbaric Services can do for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what 2 of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much, and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, it took about 25, 30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
Very simple process, and it's well worth it.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are here with our first guest. I am so excited to introduce to you, and I think you've been on the show before.
I have.
So she's not new to the show, Cheryl Jaggers, and she does the HCG product, the shots. And the first question I have to ask her was because everybody at the office wanted me to ask you this question.
Okay.
Why do you inject female hormones into males? I thought that was a fair question for us to begin on, and then
Why
you
not?
just take off from here.
Because whether it's in a female or a male, human chorionic gonadotropin, which is HCG, that we inject male and females
Try
with.
saying that twice. Say that again.
Human chorionic gonadotropin, human chorionic gonadotropin.
Okay, gotcha.
And HCG, basically, whether it's in a male or a female, does not distinguish. All it knows that is that if that body has HCG in it, which is measured in units like insulin, is that it reverses the fat burning process. If you take in a lower amount of calories, it causes the body to reverse burn fat, and it burns the abnormal fat versus the normal fat. And it was discovered in the 1960s when
So
Dr.
you're talking
Seaman,
about your
your stubborn belly fat,
Okay.
the fat that we acquired through adaptation. Basically, you're able to track it into the caveman days, is when men would go out and club the animals. They'd be gone for 2 or 3 days at a time while we were all waiting in the caves. And the body actually added a layer of fat during that time because the body learned to conserve metabolism and basically sort of shut the metabolism down until the body would eat again. And when we wake up in the morning and we take the first bite of something, that really sort of cranks our metabolism up. And
No
so that's
matter
why,
what we take that. No matter what we eat. First
well, we
bite.
need to eat something. The first thing, the worst thing we can do is not eat when we get up. People that skip breakfast, as you know, their studies been done, they do poorer in school. They tend to be more sluggish. The reality is we need to wake ourselves up, but we need to wake our metabolism up too.
Okay.
And so I think a lot of times we force ourselves into conservation mode where we're basically just shutting our metabolism down. HCG, when it's in the system, and that was when Dr. A.T.V. Simeon discovered it in the 50s when he was on a mission trip, and he journaled it and stayed over there 18 years, discovered HCG caused the body to burn abnormal fat, which is your extra fat that we acquired through adaptation. And we maintain lean muscle mass, we maintain our normal and structural fat if we've got HCG in our system, whether you're male or female, it works.
Okay, well that is good. Now you have been on the diet. You've taken the shots yourself.
Absolutely.
Right.
We
And how
studied
much
it.
weight did you lose?
The very first time I ever, and this is where when people come to us and say, I want to do HCG, I tell them to get their head right the first time. Get your head straight, because the very first time you do HCG, your body's going to respond to it the best. Okay. The second time you do it, your body will have a little bit of possibly tolerability. There's theories that there may be a few antibodies that you can acquire that may cause it not to work as well as it did the first time. So that's why when I see a patient the very first time and they're ready to do HCG and they're really ready to lose weight, I'm like, get your head straight, because the very first time you do it, it's going to spoil you. HCG, you'll go to a reduced calorie diet, and we work with you, and you know that we teach people how to eat 3 meals and 2 snacks a day. That really anywhere. A lot of times we trick it up. We start off 500, we go to 1,000, but anywhere from 500 to 1,000 calories divided into 3 meals, 2 snacks a day, eating every 3 to 4 hours. We keep the furnace burning, okay? And then we tell you what to eat. It's proteins, vegetables, limited fruits and carbohydrates. And probably what we really teach is rethinking the way we eat. People come off the program, their stomachs truly have shrunk. We're able to see that through studies we've done with fluoroscopes. But secondly, we realize you get it. It does not take that much for us to eat. We feed ourselves to death.
Yeah,
literally.
we biggie size everything.
We do.
Yeah.
And what we teach with the HCG program and people coming off of it, we show them exactly what to do after they've lost the weight. They get the momentum going because they're with HCG. And literally in the first month, and I pushed it last April. I really pushed it and got back in my size 6 lucky jeans.
Wow.
And but I swung the pendulum back a little bit. My thin is like an 8'10", and I'm comfortable there, and I can maintain that. And a lot of people have pushed it to see how far you can go on it.
Right.
But that first month I was losing 1.2 pounds. The next day like 0.9. I asked that most patients get digital scales, and then literally at one point it was like, literally it's almost as if the scales knew it was a pound a day weight loss. And then your momentum is going and you start rethinking, okay, I think I get it. It just doesn't take that much for me to eat. I feel good. HCG sort of raises the levels of your endorphins, so you feel good. It does stimulate the hypothalamus and tell the diencephalon you're not hungry, so you're not starving on HCG.
Right.
You're actually, after you've gone through 3 days of utilizing your body's own, glucose that's stored in the muscles, you actually go, instead of burning lean muscle, it goes to converting you burning into fat, and that's what the HCG does.
Now, with HCG, it's not something that you can be on for life. You're limited in how long you can be on it.
Right.
And when you take the shots, do you take them every day? Do you take them once a week?
Yes.
Do you take them yourself? How
you
how
give
do you
them,
go about this?
most people give
Okay.
them to themselves. And
Okay.
it is a subcutaneous shot. And I tell people to sit and shoot. And you want to give it in your lower abdominal area to the
Okay.
right or left of the umbilicus, and you rotate sites. We tend to think there's some ideas of a spot reduction component, because we did have 2 patients that forgot to rotate sites and gave it on their right side only. And
Oh my.
about 2.5 weeks into the program, they're like, what's wrong with me? And this side was a silhouette and the other side was straight. And I actually called a physician in Chicago and said, have you ever seen this before? But I had already asked them, were you rotating your sights? And they both had forgotten, and we got them caught back up. But the HCG, we basically target the stubborn belly fat first, because that's where we tend to collect that layer of abnormal belly fat.
It's always in the abdomen and in the butt, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So-
At least for me, that's where it is.
So those people who are petrified of needles,
It's
is there another way to take this HCG?
There are 4 ways.
I'm petrified.
Really, and most people, the reality is, I'll tell them to close their eyes, and in some of this lower abdominal fat, there's really not any nerves, and it's a 32 gauge ultra fine needle. And even if someone has a fear of needles, you can put an ice cube on the area that you know you're going to, and in 30 seconds it numbs the area, and you can give yourself the shot and you won't feel it. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to feel it anyway. It's such a fine gauge needle, and there's really no nerves in that fatty tissue. So you really don't feel it. It's more psychological than anything. And so we can teach you to do it. You can overcome the fear. Because the reality is there are 4 ways you can have HCG. The first is through a subcutaneous injection. It's just a tiny, tiny needle.
And I would assume that would be the best.
It is the highest rate of
Right,
absorption,
okay,
the
okay.
best rate of absorption. The second is actually a nasal spray that's been studied. In Tennessee, there's no way we're going to do a nasal spray. Our sinuses are bad enough as it is.
Yeah, that's true.
The third way
Yeah.
are drops that you can take sublingually, but then it has to be 30 minutes to an hour before each meal. And the HCG really does tend to denature if it's outside of a refrigerator. That's why it's so convenient and so easy to do the shots, because you can put it in a little tray in the refrigerator, get your shot, and then dispose of it. The drops are in a dropper. It's hard to keep it cool. Take it with you. Remember to take it 30 minutes before you're going to eat.
Right.
Your main meal of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then there is a cream, but I haven't found anyone that even really found that the cream was effective. The reality is we coach people weekly and bring everybody back in, but we also have a monitor that really monitors body fat versus body mass, and we are actually able to see the body fat decrease, the body mass almost stay the same. So it shows us that these patients are truly losing body fat versus body mass, not lean muscle. And the patients come in and they say that, and we titrate the HCG a little bit. We don't, as if in a pregnant person, there's doubles every day to let you know that the fetus or the infant is developing normally. HCG, we keep one consistent dose, but usually midway through the program, we increase it a little bit. But
Just to get them over the edge, I guess.
It does, and it sort of tricks it up again.
Right.
And we don't want our body getting comfortable. But we also alternate with certain vitamin shots as well, and that doesn't allow the body to plateau. It keeps you from getting constipated and being bloated and having any swelling and fatigue and things like that. So you really feel good on it.
So how long do they take the shots for? And I know one of the questions that everybody out there is going to ask is, how much weight can you lose? And can you give us a couple examples? And
I can give you some examples, and we're trying to actually add up how many patients we've actually had. We went live, we studied the program and traveled for a year. Leanne Love is another nurse practitioner that partnered with me in this endeavor. And she and I traveled and went to conferences and spent the money, and then met with a compounding pharmacy in town that actually gets real HCG. And we buy it at 3 months at a time. We buy it in store, and then it is actually, you can go watch them mix it under the hood for you. It is labeled and drawn up sterilely under the hood. It comes with certificates of authenticity and potency, and that's where we really distinguish ourselves from other programs. We're not sending someone home with a vial to wonder if they're drawing up the right amount. We're not double diluting it. It is by the books, by the notes that Dr. A.T.V. Simeon really discovered in the 50s. HCG is being investigated by the FDA for
Sure.
breast cancer prevention, glaucoma,
Oh, wow.
fertility. And so we put someone on it for 30 days. Okay, we monitor them for 30 days, which is 4 weeks. Really, the first 30 days is 28 days because it takes 3 days for HCG to get to therapeutic level in your bloodstream. Okay, so day 1 and day 2, you go through this what we call the ritual of loading, and you really get to eat anything as fair game because HCG will block that food from getting converted to glycogen and stored as fat. You may gain some weight during those days because you can have pretty much anything you want for 2 days. So day 1 and day 2 are load days. Eat anything you want. There's a psychological component to that. It also sort of helps your body get the needed stores of your fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. And so day 3, when you give yourself that shot, you go to a reduced calorie program. The HCG is then at therapeutic bloodstream level, and you start literally losing the weight. Okay, so you may be taking in 500 to 1,000 calories, but you also are burning 500, or actually you're burning over 1,000 calories of your own body's fat a day. And so you actually see it. You start feeling your hip bones. You start, and your momentum really, and that's where a lot of people, it's really day 3 through 30, which is 28 days. Make it a 28-day game with yourself, and just say, okay, let me see where this takes me. I can do anything for 28 days.
Sure.
All right, if someone is near goal, okay, at day 30, you can extend them the very first time they do it 12 more days, which would take them to 42 days. When you come in, you can see before and after pictures of people that have done talent releases. One patient actually lost a female lost 55 pounds in 42 days.
Goodness.
We've just had a guy that just blew my mind, and of course HIPAA violation doesn't allow you to say anything, but if this person sees this, he's absolutely blown my mind. He followed it to the T. He lost 44.2 pounds in 1 month.
My goodness.
But he did exactly what he was supposed to do, and he was on a mission. I even interviewed him for like 30 minutes. I said, tell me what made you so successful at this. He said, I did everything you said. I did not cheat.
That's key.
And it's here. It's here. You've got to want it.
key.
It's not easy, but it's not that hard because you just, a lot of people journal it, and I'll read their journal. And the funniest things are on the journals. But I think journaling also helps you. It's like a catharsis, People are like, I filed for divorce from food today, and then they meet their goal and they're like, my DIVORC is final today, and
That's great.
But I love it. I love these patients. And
Do you have to be a certain amount of weight over, like?
There
Somebody
have been
just wants to
patients-
lose 10 pounds.
That's easy.
So
a
you
lot of
can do that.
patients have come to us, and we just do a week-by-week situation. And a lot of
Some
times,
diets don't let you unless you have to lose a certain amount.
well, what we do is we qualify it. If somebody looks too thin, then we do it. We use the monitor that measures their body fat and their body mass, and then we show them. Well, there is a certain percentage of body fat that you could be with, could lose to be within acceptable range, and sometimes some people just want to lose 10 to 15 pounds, but they want to lose the right. They don't want to lose
Right.
lean muscle. They don't want to lose abnormal
They wanna
structural
lose the
fat.
fat.
And a lot of times we have it off in 2 or 3 weeks. But then I put them on the same program. I'm like, this is what you're going to do next. And I think this is where other programs fail, and then they go back to their same habits. It's a lifestyle change. It's a change of habits, but replace
Absolutely.
a bad habit with a good habit. And really sometimes these substitutions are a matter of just prior planning. And because we're so used to instant gratification.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot of it is prior planning. On day 1 or day 2, when you're getting ready to go to day 3, which is day 3 through 30, go to the grocery store then and get your food, because anything you think is still fair game. So if a Pepperidge Farm coconut cake jumps in your buggy at that time, it's still fair game. And get your head right, because
good.
it is a very effective way to get going, get some weight off.
Great.
And then your momentum is
Well,
there.
let's do this because we're going to have to cut here pretty quickly. How can they reach you? How can they contact you if they are interested in taking the HCG shots? Would you please tell them?
Clinical Solutions is their phone. The phone number is 790-7792 with the area code 423-790-7792.
All right, so give Cheryl a call if you're interested in the HCG program. I know she'd love to talk to you, and just stop by the clinic and talk to her, and I'm sure any questions you have, she'll be more than qualified to be able to answer them. So Cheryl, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
It was fun.
You're welcome.
It is fun.
And go look at that house. All right, we'll be back in just a little bit with our next guest, Dr. Kirk Keener.
Hi, I'm Brittany Jackson. Join me every Wednesday night at 6:30 and midnight where we will highlight local sports, chat with coaches, and discover new tips every week. Only on In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what two of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, took about 25, 30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
It's a very simple process, and it's well worth it.
Hello, I'm Dr. Gupta, and I'd like to introduce you to a valuable new healthcare solution here in Cleveland. Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open and accepting patients. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an incredible treatment clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, chronic fatigue syndrome, and even sports injuries and sprains. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level in the body. This increased oxygen level in our tissues and organs boosts the body's natural healing abilities and allows our bodies to function at a higher level. We will be happy to work in cooperation with your regular physician. However, referral is not required for this treatment. So whether you're dealing with a weekend injury, a chronic medical condition, or looking for anti-aging solutions, you owe it to yourself to explore what hyperbaric oxygen treatment can do for you or your loved ones. I invite you to contact us today for some more information.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Alrighty, welcome back again. We are here with our second guest, Dr. Kirk Keener, and he has a product called Ideal Protein. I gotta admit, I don't know much about it, so I'm very interested, but I do know from what everybody has told me that you have lost an incredible amount of weight, and I also understand that you work with professional athletes, help to get them into shape when they come back into training camp, so especially for a lot of the athletes out there that are trying to find a diet that would be safe for them while they're in training, you are going to be just perfect for us. So since I don't know a lot about Ideal Protein, I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about it. And I know you want to show us the picture because you've lost how much weight?
Doc, I lost 126 pounds in 6 months with absolutely no exercise whatsoever.
That'd be like I would just disappear off the face of this earth. That's incredible.
Not only did I lose that weight, but 3 years, January the 12th was my 3-year anniversary, and I've kept every bit of that weight off for 3 years with minimal effort whatsoever.
Are you still taking Ideal Protein?
No, that's
Okay.
not part of the protocol once you reach our maintenance phase.
Wow.
It's one of the keys of Ideal Protein is it's a 4-phase program that teaches you how to incorporate some really good biologically rich protein supplements into your existing diet and protocol that we supply for you. And by doing that, you're going to protect your muscle mass because that's what is so vitally important. You know, I hear a lot of times they'll ask me, they'll say, Doc, I heard it was dangerous to lose weight as fast as you did. And if you lose it fast, I heard you gain it back real fast and all those kind of myths. But the truth is, the only time it's dangerous to lose weight fast is if you're neglecting your vitamin and mineral support okay, your supplementation, and or if you're doing it and you're losing as much lean body mass, as much muscle right along with it. So those are the only two instances that it's really dangerous to lose fat as quickly as our program does for people.
Okay.
So, but you're right, I did. Here's a
Yeah,
little
we wanna
before and
see this
after picture
picture.
of me. In this picture here, this side here, this is my before picture. I'd actually already lost about 35 pounds in that picture. And the only reason I don't have one of the exact day I started is I was just too embarrassed.
Oh my
I mean,
days.
you know, here I am, a physician, and I'm supposed to be a picture of health. I'm supposed to be talking about health, teaching health,
Sure.
An advocate of health, encouraging my patients to strive for health and to maintain a healthy weight in their body. And I was 315 pounds myself.
Wow.
And so
incredible.
I was trying to cover it up with, you know, a size 46 pants, XXX scrubs, and the only thing I was hiding was the reality from myself. And
Wow.
so when I finally got to the point of just realizing that, you know, I was in trouble myself and needed to do
Sure.
something, I was fortunate enough to hear about Ideal Protein. It's only been in the United States for 4 years. It's been in Canada for about the last 12 years, and it's been in Europe for the last 25 years.
Isn't that something?
And that's where it originated. It was in Europe, in France. It was
Okay.
designed for elite and Olympic level athletes.
Okay.
Also for professional ballerinas and so forth. And our creator of Ideal Protein, Dr. Tran, when he saw the body modification and the maintaining of the lean mass in those individuals who was putting their bodies through a lot of rigorous exercise and routines, he knew then that if it could maintain that muscle mass on those individuals and even help reduce the amount of body fat they had, then it would easily work on people like us, the average person.
Okay.
So I got on the program, and like I said, I lost 126 pounds in 6 months. I did no exercise whatsoever. 12
wow.
years ago, I was an avid triathlete. I was ranked as high as 70th in the Southeast.
Goodness.
So I'm used to an active lifestyle.
Sure.
And as I tell my patients, you know, life happens. Every pound has a story, whether it's coming on, going off. We don't condemn those who are, you know, who have gotten, you know, away from things or let things slip away from them. We're here to help and have a phenomenal, phenomenal product to do that.
Well, do this because, like I said, none of us really know a lot about the product, and I want to make sure we hear about it. Can you tell us some of the athletes or professional teams that are using this product, especially for our sports-minded people out there? And then really, if you could take the next few minutes and just zero in on what the product is and how to take
Yeah.
it and where we can get it and offer
brought
it.
some- you
But
brought
I'd like
some
to
to
know what
show.
athletes we're talking about here. And
Well, we don't actually have a professional team endorsed
Okay.
through our product. You're right, though, in saying there are multitudes
Okay.
of all level athletes taking our foods and using our products, using our protocol. However, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, their program and institution uses our foods and products quite heavily because our company did originate out of Canada.
okay,
But you're absolutely correct in saying there are many athletes who are benefiting from our program. Ideal Protein has evolved quite a bit in the last 25 to 30 years, being that even though it was originally designed for those elite level athletes, what I want to stress to everyone out there today is you do not have to be an athlete to do this program. As a matter of fact, the way our program has evolved is it has evolved into being, I would say, the absolute most efficient and effective tool of addressing something commonly found in our medical community today called metabolic syndrome. Now, metabolic syndrome has to do with central abdominal obesity, hypertension, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes. Those four issues or those four components is what comprises metabolic syndrome. Again, it's central abdominal obesity, hypertension, high cholesterol, and diabetes. And I tell you, Doc, in my practice, I've got 2 clinics in Florida, 1 in Alabama. I'm actually a Southeastern Regional Development Consultant now for Ideal Protein, meaning that this program changed my life so dramatically that I don't practice on a day-to-day basis anymore. I'm out training other doctors, many of which you've seen on this show and others in the area, how to implement this within their office and help hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of patients. Physicians are our only portal of delivery.
I figured that out. I went online and I thought, well, I'll order some of this product, test it out, see when I think of it. I couldn't get it.
No, it's non-commercialized. You're not going to find it at Sam's or CVS, Walgreens, anything like that. Simply because what I said earlier, it is so effective at treating and combating metabolic syndrome. I brought paperwork with me, and I know we're limited time, but if anyone's out there and they know what an A1C level is, or an A1C test, it's a pre-diabetic cursor test that they do. It's a hemoglobin test on your blood work that you have drawn. The A1C is one of our best predictors of someone that is developing or well on their way to becoming full-blown diabetic. And usually our normal ranges are somewhere between 4.5 to 5.7 or 6 is where we want everyone's A1C to be below. And as it incrementally gets above that, 6 to 7, we start getting concerned. Usually we'll prescribe an oral medication. 7 to 8, we're even more concerned because the oral meds are not working for whatever reason. And usually anyone over an 8 to 9 or higher, we're well on the way to prescribing some kind of insulin shot or additive treatment like that. So I've seen people's A1C levels, not only in my clinic, but in multitudes of other clinics, go from the high 9s and low 10s right back down to perfectly normal within 14 or 15 weeks. That's 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
And and there's no drug out there that we've had available to us that will give us those kind of results.
So is it bars? Is it food? Is it shakes?
Doc, we've got over 60 food items.
Okay.
And that's why over in my Alabama clinic, I just like to joke and kid around with a lot of the guys, the men in particular that come in there. I get on the radio and TV over there, and I tell folks over there all the time, if you literally want to eat your butt off, then this is the program. Because on our program,
I like that.
Yeah, on our program,
Eat your butt off.
That's right, eat your butt off.
Ideal Protein.
On our program, you get up to
like that.
you get 4 cups of fresh fibrous vegetables a day, unlimited salads, and check this out, Doc. You get up to a half a pound of meat every day on our program.
I would like that.
Now that's the whole food that you eat on our program. In addition to that whole food, on that first phase, remember I told you it was a 4-phase program. Right. The first 2 phases are about weight loss. The third phase and the fourth phase is about maintenance. And that's where we really pride ourselves, is in the dieters that go on our program and lose the weight, keep the weight off. And that is the biggest difference.
Even if they go back and eat what I would consider, I don't want to say normal food, but they can go back and eat some potatoes.
You're okay. Absolutely, you're okay in saying normal food, because you know what? We have them eating food such as that the entire way through the program.
Okay.
There's only a few food items that we restrict and ask them to hold out of their diet for a short period of time while they're on phase 1 and 2. But those foods are few and far in between, and absolutely, once they get to phase 3 and 4, they can bring those foods back and keep the weight off, because we teach them about food combinations, portion control, adopting a healthy lifestyle, some kind of activity. You don't have to be Tony Little and get on a gazelle rider or a treadmill or something like that and literally wear yourself out. And the fourth thing is avoiding hidden sugars. And yes, the 60 foods that we have.
Are they meal replacement things?
Well,
or are they
I don't want to say meal replacements,
supplements?
because, like I said, you get 4 cups of fresh fibrous vegetables, you get up to a half a pound of meat every day. So there's only like 1 meal in phase 1 that we're actually totally replacing, and that's the breakfast meal. And we've got omelets, we've got cereal, we've got oatmeal, pancakes. We've got a multitude of, if you're just a diehard traditional breakfast type person, that's the good thing about our program. We've got over 60 foods to help you, not to totally substitute and take away, your omelet or anything else. But I'm going to tell you what, I'd put our omelet up against any omelet out there. It is absolutely phenomenal.
And the drink you showed earlier, that was
That was another one of our foods. Just
Yeah.
simply this
All
right here.
We got to wrap up in here in about a minute. So
Okay,
show us
well,
what
this
you
is
showed us
a-
and tell us where to get this.
This is a
if we can get
raspberry
it.
gelatin that we
Okay.
have, and this is obviously a competitor. I don't want to show the name or anything for trademark purposes, but here's the key about ours. If you look on the food index box right here on the side panel, what it lists is, we're going to do a comparison right here, Doc.
Okay.
There's 80 calories in both of these products.
Okay.
There's no fat in either one of them. In the main competitors, there's 19 grams of carbohydrates. In ours, there's 2 grams of carbohydrates. In this one, there's 2 grams of protein, and in ours, there's 19. So the carbohydrate and protein is exactly the opposite.
The reverse.
The key is there's 19 grams of sugar here.
Okay.
Sugar and carbs is what causes your pancreas to go haywire and produce way too much insulin in your body, making you become hyperinsulinic and insulin resistant, therefore leading to the metabolic syndrome. So if you've been on a diet out there and you've tried everything and it just doesn't seem like what you do works or matters, this is where Ideal Protein steps in and actually specializes. We are a physiologically based program. We deal entirely with the physiology of the body, and when you do that, you get long, sustaining, lasting results.
Okay, we got just a couple seconds left. Where can we get this? And we'll have to make this quick, but where can we get this?
Okay, well, this program can be found at Clinical Solutions
Okay.
here in Cleveland. I know Cheryl Jaggers, nurse practitioner, has been on the show before, but it can be found at Clinical Solutions, and their phone number is 790-7792, and that's area code 423-790-7792.
Great. Well, I appreciate you so much being with us. I have never heard of this, and it sounds exciting. So again, if you're interested in this product, please check it out and hook up with Cheryl, I guess, who could do HCG or Ideal Protein in this area, and see if one of these 2 diets that we've talked about so far is the right diet for you. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you,
Keener.
Doc. Pleasure having you.
I'm going to do all the diets. I'm going to.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what 2 of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much, and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, took about 25, 30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
It's a very simple process, and it's well worth it.
I'm Byron Winters with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Contact me for all of your business insurance needs. From general liability to workers' comp, commercial auto, and business umbrellas, Landmark Insurance has you covered.
Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open in Cleveland. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is incredible treatment, clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, migraine headaches, even sprains and injuries. It is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level, providing an array of health benefits. So whether you're dealing with a weekend sports injury, chronic condition, or looking for anti-aging, you owe it to yourself to explore what Hyperbaric Services can do for you.
Hi, I'm Brittany Jackson. Join me every Wednesday night at 6:30 and midnight, where we will highlight local sports, chat with coaches, and discover new tips every week. Only on In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson.
Okay, we're back for our final guest, Mr. Jeremy Sauls, who is an advocate for Advocare, and
Amen.
he is going to tell us, We've heard 2 programs so far, all very interesting, good knowledge, good information. And so, Jeremy, I know Advocare is in this area, and I know people have talked about Advocare. And so we want, as we said before, we've got 3 bullets here, and this may be the bullet for you, and we're going to act like nobody knows anything about Advocare.
Okay.
And what can you tell us about it? And I know Jeremy personally, and I know that he is a shadow of his former self, that he has also lost weight on his product. So tell us a little bit about Advocare, and I know it's more than weight loss, but today let's specifically kind of gear it towards the weight loss, and tell us about what you did and what the people out there would want to order and what they would be looking for in Advocare.
Well, Advocare, as a 19-year-old company, started in 1993, and we make just products that help people get healthy. Of course, weight loss is part of that, especially in this country. And for people that are wanting to lose weight, getting healthy is a great way to do it. So when it comes to losing weight, we have a few products that are made to lose weight that are built just for that reason. But most of the products are about having energy, feeling good, getting the body healthy from the inside out. And when that happens, your body naturally does what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
So as far as weight loss goes, we have a kind of a grouping of products called the 24-day challenge.
Hear a lot about that.
Yeah, it's a very popular thing. It's swooping across the country like crazy because it does work. People are losing from average of 10 to 24 pounds in 24 days, but not just pounds, it's inches. You know, we want to shrink the waistline, get rid of the fat.
So they're getting rid of the fat.
So 10 inches on average is what people are losing. My numbers are actually right on target. My first 24-day challenge was 15 pounds and 9.5 inches.
And you said
off
you're
my
first,
body.
so you've done that challenge more than once?
Well, not really.
Okay.
I did the 24-day challenge, and then I kept track of my weight loss and my shrinkage, so to speak, over a 24-day span and then a 24-day span, just so I would know, because I'm just wired that way, I guess.
So when you take your 24-day challenge, and I want you to tell them what that is and what that involves, but when you come off of that challenge, then are you still taking products or weight loss products at that point? Can you tell us about that?
Yes, optimally you would. You would do your 24-day challenge, and then day 25 really is no different than day 24, unless you've reached your goal. If you're where you want to be and you're happy and you're just fine, then you might want to change it up. You might want to add something. You might want to add some performance products because we do have more than just weight loss. You may want to back off a little bit and totally switch gears and maybe become a marathon runner because now you're thin and lean and you want to run. So you maybe go that direction.
Because people can buy the products individually, right?
Yes.
I mean, you don't go with just the big diet. You can buy what to fit your needs.
Exactly. It's tailored to fit whatever you want. Whatever your goal is, we have products tailored to meet those needs and those goals.
So if you have like 5 or 6 weight loss products, if I was looking at Advocare, I could just pick 1 or 2, or is it meant that I need to take all 6 of them to optimally lose weight?
Well, first of all, I would ask you, what are your goals? What do you want to do? And you would say, I want to lose X number of pounds in X number of days. And then we would say, okay, well, if that's your goal, then this is what you need to use to reach that goal.
Okay.
But if you said, I just want to lose 5 pounds and I'll take 6 months to do it, I'm okay with that. All right, well, that doesn't necessarily mean you need as much product, but maybe you need extra energy because you're tired all day long. You're not necessarily having a weight loss problem, you're just tired.
Okay.
A lot of Americans are deficient in energy. We're a 24/7 society, go, and energy seems to be something a lot of people are missing nowadays. We have a great product to help that, which is
And we hear
Spark
a lot
right
about
here.
people making jokes about feeling sparky.
Feeling sparky.
So that's what
And
that
that's
is.
what this
Yeah,
is.
we get sparked up every morning.
Now, is your product, and this is just something I've heard, is your product caffeine based in the sense, a lot of people don't want to be jacked up on caffeine, a lot of people don't care. Is it a caffeine, I'll take it and I can't sleep at night type product, or?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked because caffeine I think there's a lot of misconception in the marketplace with caffeine. And Spark is a sugar-free energy drink, but it's not energy for the body, it's energy for the brain. It's mental focus.
Okay.
And as we all know, if your brain has energy, so does the body.
Okay.
So Spark is designed to help the brain, and therefore the body has energy in response to that. So there's no sugar in it. It does have a little bit of caffeine. What we found is some people need it because they've had it for so long. If they don't have caffeine, they get headaches.
Sure.
So there's enough caffeine in a serving of Spark, about a half a cup of coffee.
And it's got lots of vitamins, I see.
It's got a ton of nutrition. We've actually been on Spark every day for a little over a year now, personally. And my 8-year-old son takes it before he goes to school. And a lot of other professional athletes take it. A lot of race car drivers, NASCAR drivers take it before they go on the racetrack.
Getting the number 3 car.
We
out of
do.
the
We are so
tournament.
excited. The number 3 car's back with Advocare all over it. So
Wow.
we have a great partnership with NASCAR, Richard Childress Racing, and Drew Brees, national spokesperson, and we have lots of other sports endorsers that promote our products as well.
Okay. Now, I know with the other weight loss people that were here today, one of the questions is, so many diets out there, you lose the weight and then you put it back on. You lose the weight and you put it back on. Does Advocare have research or proof that, once we've taken it off, we can keep it off? I mean, I realize it's up to the individual for sure.
Right.
If you're going to go crazy after you get off the diet, then it doesn't matter what diet you do.
Donuts don't help. Well, first of all, we don't condone dieting. We're not a diet company.
Okay.
We don't want anybody to diet.
Okay.
I lost my 38 pounds eating, and we don't necessarily say you have to eat certain things. We don't believe that limiting your intake or food intake is the best way to do that. We want people to live a normal life, and we're busy Americans. We understand. Go to the grocery store, buy your food. Should you buy donuts? No. Should you eat clean? Yes. You should eat meats and vegetables and fruits. I mean, we all know what we should eat.
Right.
You eat something bad, you know it. I mean, let's just be real. I know I'm eating something bad, but at that point in time, you may not care. But the point is, eat healthy, eat decent. And with proper nutrition, the body will do what it's supposed to. So 10 months, 6 years, 10 years down the road, we have proof where people are staying lean, keeping lean muscle mass, keeping fit, just by using these products and here again, being healthy.
So what is a typical day for someone on Advocare? Like when they get up, what do they take? What do they do? What do they eat? How do they go through the day?
On the 24-day diet.
24-day
on the
challenge.
24-day.
24-day
Yeah, that'd be
challenge.
great.
All right.
Good
Well,
question.
first thing in the morning, as soon as you get up, you go in the kitchen, you mix up a Spark. 7 flavors, everything. There's nothing there that you won't want as far as flavor goes. You can heat it up, drink it hot, drink it cold, however you want to do it.
Smoothies or?
Well, I wouldn't, because I want all of that in me working, because that is our energy drink.
Okay.
So when
So
it
you
goes
drink
in,
it
I
as
want
a-
it to work.
Okay.
And that alone right there will change anybody's life. I don't care who you are. So on the 24-day challenge, you get up, have a Spark. 30 minutes later, well, let me back up. 24-day challenge, the first 10 days is what we call getting clean. You go through it, you have a cleanse, you go through it, and I know everybody's scared of the word cleanse, and I understand. If you want more information on that, I'll tell you about it, but you can go to Disney World on our cleanse, and you'll be all right.
Okay.
So the first 10 days is getting clean, because we want to get rid of the plaque in the intestines. We want to clean the liver. We want to basically clean your lint trap. Because if you put something in your body, you want to get every bit of it.
Right.
You don't want to waste it. So we want to get you clean, because most Americans are just filthy inside. I lost 8 pounds the first 3 days, and that wasn't weight loss. That was just getting clean.
Yes, and we don't need to say more about that.
So moving
Taking
on.
those pills.
Yes.
So the first 10 days is getting clean. Day 11 is really where the fun starts. That's where the vitamins come into play, and I can give more information on person to person about all that. But we start vitamins on day 11. We still use on Spark. We have some meal replacement shakes for people because they're on the go, and shakes work out real well. So day 11 is really what I call the day where we introduce rocket fuel, because that's when your energy level just skyrockets. You feel great. You feel like if you don't do something, you just go move rocks. I mean, you got to do something because you have energy, and everybody loves having energy. So through that process, through getting clean, and then revving the body up, feeding the body, feeding muscle, feeding lean muscle, the body naturally just does what it's supposed to do.
Great. Well, believe it or not, this goes so fast. We are really pretty much out of time. But Jeremy, I know that you sell these products and they need to contact you. So can you let the audience know how to contact you, where to contact you in order to get the product? And it's not just about weight loss. You've also got the vitamins and everything else. So if you want to talk to him about more than just the weight loss products, how can they reach you, Jeremy?
Okay, well, my phone number is, we're here right in Cleveland, so my phone number is 322-4464. Our website to get to some more information if you need to is lifeonthefrontrow.com. That takes you to our personal distributor website. You can buy these products from us. You can buy them online. There's several different price points as far as what you want, your goals, what you want to do with it. So if you want more information, I'd be glad to share it with you and go from there.
Great. Well, Jeremy, thank you for being here. Regina, you have done awesome today.
I have had so much fun.
We have had
I'm gonna be
3
skinny next
great
time.
guests here to talk about weight loss. So you pick the one that's right for you and get after it and lose that weight. And while I'm thinking about it, if you have time, drive by 3705 Hilldale Avenue, because if you want opportunity to knock, you talk to Doc. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you next month.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you. All right.